Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In today's video, we're going to look at the SuperCoach AFL squad after round 6 of the 2023 AFL season. So as you can see, he scored 2,131, which was top 13% for the round. I didn't think it would quite be so high, and has seen us move up about 7,500 ranks, so into the top 30k. Um, next up, top 25. If you have a look at the team and how it went, so Jordan Dawson was originally our captain, but after taking the VC score, it was a great decision. He only got 78. Not quite sure what's happened. I haven't had a chance to look too much at all of this, to be honest. Um, Over the weekend, it was a bit of an intense one, for lack of a better term. But, he's a keeper. We're not going to stress too much about that at the moment. Nick Dacos, 145, so absolute freak. Um, Captaincy option every week, I think, going forward. He just keeps banging out scores. Obviously, had Will Day as the captain to activate the loophole, so we did get Wilmot's 39. It is what it is. Buckley, 87, so, he's just, yeah, on average there, just sure, giving us good points for the price we paid for him. He would have made about 150k now too, 172, lovely. So could be a potential upgrade at this point. Jones, so not quite, the heights of his last couple of weeks, but 45. I guess especially if Dawson was a bit down too, there might be something in that. Well, we can give him one more week. I don't think his break even's too far. Yeah, 36. So, he's got another week, and then between him and Buckley, we've definitely got enough there to get a Tommy Stewart type in the defensive line. Connor McKenna, 57. So his break even is up around 60 now, yeah, 62. So he is probably the number one in the firing line for that reason, but has made us 140k thereabouts, done the job. And Charlie Constable still not getting his third game yet, but we've got other stuff to worry about, I think. Into the midfield and Marcus Bontempelli. So 182. This was the score we've all been waiting for. I guess all of us that owned him. I think he was one of the more popular options because of his lower starting price. So if you don't have him, this is the week to get on. What's his break even? 50. Yeah, so he's going to push up towards 700k next week, and then won't come too far down from that, I would have thought. Josh Kelly with a 139, so he dipped in price. He'll be another one. 114 still. How low was his other score? Well, 80. Well, that doesn't help. So, yeah, I guess, you could get on this week. You could wait a week if you like the Kelly pick. Dunkley still sitting in my midfield. I'm hoping to fix that up this week, but 104. That's what we expect from Dunkley, so that's all good, even with the red arrow. Jacob Hopper, 94. James Warple, 98. Again, our mid-price options that are just under the sort of 100 average. Warple will be an interesting watch this week with Day coming back. But I think his break even is about 30, 25. There you go, even better. So he'll definitely make us some more money this week and then could become a flip option to get to a big gun in the midfield. Ashcroft, 76. So a few people trading him out, trying to cash in and make some moves, but still a nice break even, still scoring decently. So I think he's a M8 hold. Obviously, not sitting M8 in my team at the moment, but that's neither here nor there. Jimby, 62. So again, another popular trade out option. Um, he's made his 160k or 117. That's right. He was a bit more expensive, wasn't he? I was thinking 117 instead of 170. So yeah, he's doing all right. Again, he's averaging 70, so I'm happy to keep him around as long as I can. Roberts unfortunately got injured, so was a solid trading option, but didn't quite pan out for us. Tommy Green was out, but he's back this week, so he's coming in. Davey, 44, so he's starting to get to his peak and price. He's made 100k, which is okay. We'll take that. Johnson probably wasn't as influential as we'd like. I don't know what happened. If he played lots of minutes, just obviously didn't get amongst it. But that's okay. Probably didn't need to waste a boost on that trade. That's the disappointing part of it. Tim English, obviously our vice captain, 131. You take that every day of the week. There was a chance Dawson could outscore that, but obviously missed by a long way. So that was the right call all along. Rowan Marshall, 88. So, he's ticking along at 100. And we do have our eyes on the horizon of a potential flip from him to Maxi Gawn in a couple of weeks now that he's back and looking pretty good. Samson Ryan, 82, so I was a bit worried him against the Gawn and Grundy duo, but looks like he more than held his own. He must have a nice negative break even. He's made 86k. I think we only missed about 10k of that at the start, so we're doing well there. Yeah, so 82, nice. How do you go with hitouts? Is that it? Hitouts? Yeah. 11? No, that's alright. But 10 possessions, 6 marks, that's nice. Excuse me. Up forward, Timmy Taranto, 144. That's massive. Yep, he's locked now. He's not going anywhere. Connor Rosie, 126. So I think fair to say he's a lock as well. Errol Goulden. So this one could be one we might be able to flip. Um, Potentially. What's his break even? Yeah, 135 is not ideal. So it is always going to be a bit rocks and diamonds with Goulden. So um, yeah, we're all hoping for that 185 he got in preseason, but I think there's a lot of other good options up front at the moment. So he might be the one we can potentially sacrifice and start to move a bit more, make ourselves a bit more upwardly mobile. Jack Zeeble, he's also looking like a lock, 111. And Sheasel 53, so I think that's his first score under 100. So it's very hard to be critical of the young man. Yep, there you go. Easily his worst score. So yeah, keep him in the side a bit longer, even if his cash generation has peaked. Yeah, he's made what 240k, but I mean, who are you really going to bring in that can score 100 at that price point? Asava Radaglia, so 75. Um, yeah, he's done really well the last few weeks, so he must still have a nice break even. 13. Yes, that's worked out well for us. Chandler, 85, so again, another boost in points. He was one I was looking at putting on the chopping block this week, but yeah, break even of 30. I think you've got to yeah, ride that and get the cash out. And Fergus Green, 77. So his last 3 weeks have been really good, and he's now made 150k and still has more to make. So we'll keep him for a couple of weeks, and then we'll definitely be able to use that cash. So in terms of the trades for this week, uh, there's a few different directions we can go. I think the obvious one is McKenna out, and based on their break evens, we've got to bring in Seamus Mitchell. So 270 or 79, averaging 73, should say. So that seems quite obvious and also opens up a bit of a swing here with the defence forward. So we could have done that with other DPP, but getting Zeeble or Sheasel into the back line to sort of complete that, I think is a really nice move. So if we do that as the first move, and then it doesn't matter, maybe Zeeble. And if we switch Dunkley around, probably get Chandler there. So, if we're looking at the side like that, and, you could bring Goulden in here. So, you sort of got 4 keeper types in defence with, a couple of cash out options. Pretty much a similar setup here in the forward line. So like, these two will easily turn into a premium option. And you could argue that Gulden could be that too. So, we've got anywhere from 8 to 9 sort of keepers plus enough cash for two more. But yeah, it's really the midfield where we need to start looking at upgrading. So Jimby, Ashcroft, yeah. So yeah, so Hopper and Warple will keep going for a while, but obviously they'll be quite easy upgrades. Um, so yeah, so the options are we can either go for something like we can go Gilden out. We've got 800k, which means we get who he wants, whether that's Oliver, Laird, you know, we can do whoever. So Oliver, for example, yep, sweet. Um, we could potentially go someone more like where is he? Like, so maybe like Darcy Wilmot out. That's 570, so you could get Sinclair or Sicily in. I don't think we can get Stewart, can we? No, 590. So we need to find another 300k sort of bloke. So I mean, the option there could actually be Jinby out and flip him to a Stewart. But then obviously we've got one of these guys on the bench. We could swing Zeeble back up front, um, and with that flexibility. Um, but I suppose the way that I'm thinking of going is, you know, someone like Jinby out. I mean, ideally not Jinby, but I think that's just the way the numbers are going to work. And actually looking at Caleb Sarong, so only in 5% of teams as opposed to Oliver 46, Laird 23, and obviously they're not wrong. But having someone like a Sarong as that point of difference, like he's got the runs on the board. I think now, if we look, yeah, other than 70 round one, he's played 100 minutes and scored over 100. So the points per minute are there, the minutes are there, which means the points are there. And could be something, a bit of a pot option that could get us up the table with a bit less of a fuss. So there is that option in going up. The other option, I suppose, if we just go back, is getting out of, say, a Davey, who's just a bit of a slow burn for us, and getting into a Corey Wagner. So you know, averaging 52, nice negative break even. So as soon as he steps out on the field, he'll make us some money. And then the 413 means there's a bit even more flexibility again about whether we get out of a Wilmot. So trade as well. So yeah, sorry. So trade boost. So the issue with that is this is obviously our last trade boost already. We've gone pretty hard in the season, correcting and that sort of thing. But that happens, I suppose. So we just miss out on an Oliver, but it could get Laird, could go Sarong. Um, Lockie Neal, maybe not. He's going to dip a bit in cash, so we can wait on that pick. Um, Obviously, Tuke Miller being injured means he's not in the conversation, and also he's already 592 and will drop in value. Yeah, once every full break even. So yeah, really nice trade target coming up. I guess Canellier is the other one we could consider for the forward line. So if you want to get out of Goulden eventually, might be worth looking at him. So actually probably how this will shape up. Mitchell, swing Goulden back into the front line. Yeah, so like I could go Laird, but I think the more I look at it, the more I'd like to go with the Sarong. And so I guess that using that trade boost, it's not ideal, but what it does do is, as you can see, we've got pretty decent defence line. Um, with Goulden in, can probably push Chandler back. So, really solid forward line, just one sort of to go in there. But then if we, I know Wagner's already there. So, yeah, so now we've got ourselves, probably four, three, well, definitely three keepers, these three. Tom Green, I'm still not sure on, but, he'll be an M8 sort of contender anyway. Hopper and Warple making some cash as those mid-price options, and our cheapies. So, we've definitely got enough money for two guns there, particularly when Miller bottoms out in price, and maybe even Lockie Neal in a week or two. Um, yeah, so I guess obviously, just not having Oliver and Laird's going to be a bit of concern. But yeah, the money's there. So, I mean, we're in pretty good position to go one up, one down, I think, in the next few weeks. So if we do use that trade boost now, we've got these couple of nice looking rookies. If I just go back to the players for a second, got itchy nose, excuse me. Break even. So I don't think there was too many debutants. So Chincotta. So he'll definitely be on the watch list for next week. Simpson 80, but maybe a bit overpriced. Excuse me. Itchy nose, it's a nightmare. Angwin, so I know he was a cheap option last year that didn't really pan out, but again, worth a look. What else have we got? Bryn Teakle, so yeah, 85 for his first game, so he could be a big watch next week too. So there might actually be a few options next week as well. But yeah, so I think, you know, it, it, it will depend on team lists. So when do they? Hawthorn Saturday, Fremantle Saturday. So I mean, Thursday night we'll know, whether Mitchell and Wagner are definitely in the side, and that will obviously dictate the decisions around that. Um, yeah, could be a few good options next week as well. Definitely Chincotta. Those other two we'll keep an eye on, but yeah, I guess having that bottom dollar cheapie coming through is really going to make one up, one down a good option. So, um, yeah, I think we'll just wait and see. In terms of vice captain, I'm actually thinking not that he's done too well, but Marshall against Port Adelaide looks like if Teakle's playing in the ruck, might not be as big of a walkover, but generally the Port rucks haven't been fantastic, so it could be worth a sneaky pod shout at VC, and then the captain could be a bit of whoever. I probably would go towards English, just against the Hawks. Who they got? Ned Reeves. Uh, yeah, I think he could go really well. So I'll probably look something like that. I think, and the rest of the team pretty much as it is. And yeah, so that's my initial thoughts anyway. Given the late the short turnaround with the Anzac Day and all that. So feel free to comment if you've got any other thoughts on whether it's worth using the last trade boost so early, um, whether it's worth getting both cheap options in, or is one better than the other. And yeah, if you're liking the content, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the releases and that sort of thing. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.